Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us here on Midday, Kentucky. Can I just say, at least once a week you both make fun of me at the same time. I'm not going to mention the weather or how much I love it.
You love it. He loves it. He loves it.
How are we all today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am fantastic. We're going to be pre-recording our Bluegrass Medical Aesthetics this morning, and she phoned and she said she had lost her keys. And I was just explaining, last night I was trying to find my remote control for my bedroom TV. It took me an hour. It was on my kitchen bench near my briefcase.
Oh.
And I just don't understand how it got there. I really don't.
You live by yourself and no pets.
Spooky.
That's a
Maybe
really
printed.
Yeah, it is. It is. How are we all?
Doing great.
How are the kids?
Oh, doing their thing.
Are they?
Yep.
So how long till Doug's back?
He is going to be back in 17 days.
17 days. So then what is the
Okay,
plan?
no.
I
I
just
need to
spat on
rephrase
myself.
that.
I'm
Sorry. 17 days he leaves Afghanistan.
Well, then what happens?
And then he has to go to Germany for a week or week and a half. And
For
then
what?
to be processed out. They have to go through a process.
In Germany?
Out. Yes. Yeah. And they go through, medical, and they go through all kinds of stuff. So yeah, they stop in Germany first, and then they go to Norfolk. At that point, then he'll spend another week in Norfolk, and then he can come home.
But what does he have to do when he's here? Does he have? He has a few months off still, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He's just going to probably relax the first week. He's probably going to sleep and, just enjoy American food again, But, and then after that, he's just going to, take it easy for a while until...
Okay. How long are they supposed to have off after they do a tour?
Typically, it's 3 months, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're not just feeding us a fib so he doesn't
No.
have to come back straight away.
Unless
I
he's
was trying
feeding
to
it to
trick
me,
her
I
up
don't
there.
know.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Hey, I want to tell you about this story that I read last night, and I don't know whether... Look, I just know there's so much famine going on in the world and so much, so many things that we could be helping with, and all these rich countries that have so much money, okay? So let me tell you about this. We're all used to seeing special effects in Hollywood. Now, this is the wrong script, everyone. Where we're Adobe Cloak, please excuse me.
I was confused about where you were going there.
Everyone. I'm on the wrong script. We're talking about this Adobe Cloak, and now let me tell you, do you know what Adobe is? It's that computer programming thing. And Adobe has given us a peek at its Cloak project, everyone, which allows the automatic editing of footage that would take a professional hours to complete. So if you have a video of yourself and some unwanted people, you could seamlessly remove them from the video or the image. So this is what I was thinking. Your man friend, Katie?
Oh, my man friend.
Yeah,
okay.
you were talking about your man friend in Paris.
Yes.
And I thought, well, if we get rid of the man friend and you decide to have another man friend but don't want to spend the money going to Paris, we could get rid of man friend number 1 out of that picture and insert man friend number 2.
I don't want to get rid of man friend number 1.
Well, it's just a thought.
She likes her man friend number 1.
Exactly. Well, what do you think?
I think it's...
I do this in pictures, though, on apps on my
you
phone.
do?
Like Snapseed is really awesome. But
Yeah.
more to get rid of unwanted people, like in the background or something. You can erase things. In photos, but this is cool. This is really cool in video. Maybe if someone is doing a
Right.
you can erase it from the back.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Look, but
I love it. I love this
Okay,
idea.
so last night I was thinking about this. So I was doing the stories, and I'm sure Emily, who was supposed to print out my stories, didn't give me the right one, so that's her fault. I'm sorry about that, everyone at home. I've got 6 Emilys here.
Way to
and
take
no
responsibility.
one can seem to do anything right for me. Anyway,
no.
but I went through, it made me think about it. So I went through some photographs that I have back home from Australia. And there was an ex-partner in one, and I thought to myself, you know what, I wouldn't want to delete them out of photographs because it's part of my journey going along. I'm not that vindictive, even though it was a nightmare. But I looked back at the picture and I thought, we had some good times.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to eradicate them right out of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
But then I just wouldn't keep those photos anymore. I have photos that include exes, and I just don't display them in my home.
No, I
but
don't
I'm not
do
going to
that.
go back to the photo, erase them, and then use it of just me. I think that'd be
so
odd.
the thing is because we all, most people, I don't even know whether everyone does now, but I think most people would have photographs, like a photo album or something. Do you have a photo album of pictures of when you were younger or anything?
Yeah, but they're just of me.
No, I know, but what I'm saying
okay,
is, But now you can take them. No one has albums.
Yeah.
They're all on your phone and on your laptop or computer. So I'm thinking to myself, as the years go on, how easy it is just to get rid of things out of your life.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I just wish, and I kind of say that in jest too, but also getting rid of someone from photos might be helpful if you have like a photo, let's say, of the Eiffel Tower, but you were with someone else.
With man friend one.
With man friend one. And years later, I now have children and all of that. If I want,
and you're with man friend too.
But I want to show these pictures of this vacation, maybe the different sites, to my kids. I think it's a good thing then to be able to
they know
get rid of them.
They know you've had a past.
Right, but to get rid of man friend one, I don't want to have to explain that to my kids. I don't.
But I think someone's making a big mistake there.
Lisa, that surprises me. That's a whole other topic.
You should always take pictures of just yourself as well. So I already have pictures of just me at the Eiffel Tower.
She plans ahead. I love that.
Really? Okay.
Well, I like pictures, though. It's not like that's what I had in mind, but I probably took 100 pictures there. So some I'm in, some he's in.
So man friend one can be eliminated from your history quite easily.
I don't want him to be eliminated.
Just saying, people. Okay, let's move along.
She just had this romantic trip, and you're like totally bombing it for her.
Well, I thought about it last night when I was reading this, and I thought to myself, you came into my mind, and so did you. About you being married with Doug, and I have some lady friends back in Australia that have eliminated their husbands out of their lives, ex-husbands, and I think it's such a shame.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think it is part of your journey.
Right.
I'm not saying that you should display it on your lounge room carpets or anything, but. I don't know whether it's it's more for movies.
I like to know it's there just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Katie, you're bringing up something to do with kids again, and both you and I are going to give our humbled opinion.
Yes. Well,
on our vast
tell me
experience.
if you would do this, not being a parent, and then we'll ask Lisa.
Yeah.
So this was a mommy blogger writing that she said she had always believed you shouldn't reprimand other people's kids until she had kids. And now she said this past week she caught herself doing it. She was in a grocery store and a child, I think there was a little play area or something, was picking on her kid or something. She interrupts, tells the kid that is not nice. You need to rephrase what you have said. Not her child. So she intervenes to tell this child how to act. And I just thought, how many times do you see that in the grocery store? Maybe mom's in a different aisle, but how can you blame them if you have 3 kids running around? But do you ever think it's your place to step in and say something? And should you say something to, I think you can say something, but just to the parent. I don't think you should ever intervene to someone else's child in that way, but
so directly to the child.
Yeah, I think I would say something to the parent if it was inappropriate. I probably would, but I wouldn't deal with someone else's child in that way. I don't know. I want to know what you think.
Well, what do you class as reprimand?
I wouldn't speak to someone else's child and tell them to stop doing what they're doing or tell them they're misbehaving. I wouldn't probably do that.
Yeah.
I would tell the parent though.
Right. Are you asking me what?
Yeah.
Or before you?
If you see a misbehaving child in any store, wherever you are, would you ever intervene?
It depends on what that child was doing. If that child was, let's just say they're at the supermarket in the chip section, and they're opening packets of chips and throwing them out. Yeah, I'd be stopping that real fast. But if the parent was in sight, I would probably say something to the parent. But I also don't have a problem because let me tell you, when we went to the supermarkets as kids and we were out of control, my mother only had to do this, grab our arm and go, I'm telling you once more. No one had to speak to us kids.
Right.
And then eventually I was shipped to boarding school. So there was someone else's problem.
Grocery stores.
No more
The pinch wasn't effective anymore.
The pinch was not effective. But I do believe I would never strike someone's kid.
Right.
I don't believe in that. But I would totally say something.
Yeah.
Within reason. I wouldn't rip into the kid.
Right.
Yeah. And I'd be honest with you, Lisa, if your kids, you brought those kids into here, like when you came to filming this morning, if they came and they were
disruptive or anything,
I would be the first one to say, not to you directly, I'd say something to them.
Yeah.
Because I think it's they're at an age they should know better.
Yeah. Well, and I would already be on it in advance before you would, by all means.
But I think at the age of your boys too, I think that it's okay to speak directly to the child because they understand.
Yeah,
more.
Exactly.
Like what you said, talking directly to
them.
But
if a child, like if I was in a daycare and another child was kind of harassing Harrison or doing something of that nature, Honestly, it really depends how bad the harassment
exactly.
is.
It's on the level.
But I kind of want him to be able to defend himself. So I kind of want to see how he interacts and what he does to defend himself.
Because you're teaching him life lessons as well.
Yes, exactly. So I'll wait before, but if it got to where they were hitting him or anything, I would definitely intervene at that point. I would personally go over and separate the two, and I find the parent immediately. But, I would talk to the parent, though, sometimes if I'm hearing bad language, then that's where I would be like, if I hear their child saying something, really inappropriate,
but
I would go over to the parent and say,
the thing is also, if you go and say something to the parent, who knows what's going to happen?
You know, this actually
never know.
happened
That
to
person
me
could
once.
slap you down
they
so
could,
fast.
they could.
This actually happened to me in Whole Foods. I was approached by a parent and shamed over the behavior of a child that was not my child. So there was this
there goes those $6
girl.
date style.
Yeah, she was maybe 3, 4.
They thought
I don't
it was
know.
your
She
child?
was very young, and she was running up and down, screaming, yelling. And someone came up to me and said, "Ma'am, is that your child?" And I was like,
Not me.
No,
It's not my
no.
kid.
You should have turned around and said, "Excuse me, you're interrupting my rosé."
I know. But I was sort of like, this little cute, she was very cute, but I was like, this blonde child is not mine,
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know where the mom was.
I remember I have
Getting her rosé.
I told you I've got several godchildren, and I was at a supermarket once, and who I thought was my godson was playing up. I grabbed him and started pulling him along. Oh, no, do you know what I mean? And was going through the supermarket, and I'm literally pulling him, thinking, "You dreadful child." It wasn't even my kid.
Are you on like a
someone
wanted
else's
list in
kid.
Australia
I know.
for a child kidnapping?
The mother came and she said, "Do you realise you've got my son?" I went, "Excuse me?" Like, that attitude that I get sometimes. And she went, "I didn't know where mine was. It was somewhere ripping into something." But anyway, Lisa, let's move along and tell us what you think about, what's this, coffee on an empty stomach?
I came across a story.
Is it good or bad?
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, if we, we work in television, so we always need a surplus of coffee around
Well,
here.
sometimes we do.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of us don't drink coffee, though, interesting enough.
I would never have known.
I drink like 4 cups a day.
Do you really?
Before 7 a.m.
Yeah, between the hours of 3 and 7 a.m. I drink 4 cups, and then I don't drink
that's
after
interesting.
that.
Do you do that on an empty stomach?
I never have an empty stomach, Lisa. That's my problem. That's my problem.
Do you know what? I tried to bite my tongue then.
Because I know you were about to say it.
I know. It was just so easy. And I thought, good on you, sister.
Well, what about you, Troy? Do you drink on an empty stomach?
No,
Drink
because
coffee.
No, I have my coffee when I arrive here first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And I have it with a shake that I get from Bluegrass Medical Aesthetics, our guest coming on.
Yeah.
It's a protein shake, and I put a shot of coffee in that and fill it up with water. But is that on an empty stomach?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
well, here's the deal. Here's what it says. It says that drinking coffee on an empty stomach can increase the production of stomach acid. It can then it will damage your digestive system, especially if it's sensitive, and it could damage the lining of the stomach and make your indigestion or heartburn or IBS symptoms even worse.
Yeah.
So,
well, Lisa and I don't have, Katie and I don't have a sensitive stomach. So
Well-
it's well versed in it, most things.
But a lot of people
Mostly
do.
small
A lot of people do drink it first thing in the morning before they eat food or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting. It caught my eye because I do see that a lot with
Well, I
other
guess
people.
it's a little bit like when, I've seen people, shoot for a Red Bull or, and I do remember going, when I used to train in the mornings, which I hate training in the mornings, I used to have a shot of coffee, now you just said that, but it was not it was on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Never have an empty
I just
stomach.
thought about it.
Well-
There's a saying in my family, always eat before you eat. So just keep that in mind.
I like that.
I love it. Eat before you go to
Eat
the dinner.
before you eat, yeah.
I love it. Hey guys, tell us what you think. Head over to our Midday Kentucky Facebook page. We've had a diverse array of topics.
Yeah, we did.
And I didn't get to how our country's wasting a lot of money. But I will discuss that tomorrow. Hopefully Emily will print me out the right script. She's now waving a finger at me. Hey everyone, after the break we'll learn more about Bluegrass Medical Aesthetics and the huge deal that they have going on.
Yeah.
Plus later in the show, we talk breast cancer awareness with Frida Downey. This is Midday Kentucky, everyone. Stick with us.